Congress is running short on time to solve the budget standoff. This is day 16 of the partial government shutdown. If there is no budget deal today, the federal debt ceiling will be reached at midnight. That would mean the United States can no longer borrow money. It raises the risk that the government will soon be unable to pay its debts.
That deadline led to a warning yesterday. The Fitch credit rating agency said it may lower the U.S. government's AAA credit rating, making it more expensive to borrow in the future. Budget negotiations hit another roadblock in the House yesterday. Nancy Cordes is on Capitol Hill. Nancy, good morning.
Nora, yesterday's spectacle is what you get when one side tries to go it alone this close to the deadline. It never works, and it set Congress back a day when there isn't a day to spare.
House Speaker John Boehner tried to do an end run around bipartisan negotiations taking place in the Senate with his own last-ditch bill that made some changes to the president's health care law in exchange for reopening the government and raising the debt ceiling. But House conservatives revolted, complaining the bill didn't go far enough, and Boehner was forced to kill it. The two top Senate leaders, who had been watching from the sidelines all day, immediately restarted their talks, releasing nearly identical statements expressing optimism that an agreement could be reached quickly.
I know I speak for many of us who've been working in good faith when I say that we felt blindsided by the news from the House. But this isn't the first time.
The Senate plan reopens the government, which has been shut for 16 days, funds it for 3 months, and raises the debt ceiling for nearly 4 months. But because of Senate rules, it can take days to pass even bipartisan bills. And the Treasury Secretary has been urging Congress for weeks to pass a bill raising the debt ceiling by tomorrow.
The ominous sounds of default are being heard.
Speeding up the process would require approval from all 100 senators. And the two biggest advocates of defunding the president's health care law, Republicans Ted Cruz and Mike Lee, have not said whether they will try to hold up the bill.
Senate leadership aides from both sides tell me this morning that their staffers have been working all night, that they're very close to finalizing this deal, getting it into legislative language, but they're not quite there yet. And once they are, they still needed to present it to senators. So the earliest vote in the Senate is looking like it could take place sometime this afternoon, but they need to have a series of votes in the Senate before it even goes over to the House. Nora and Charlie.
Thanks, Nancy.